For generations, our primary operating model has run on a very specific set of assumptions: scarcity, institutional secrecy, and individual separation. But that model is coming under immense pressure. We are seeing a constant stream of verified breakthroughs that challenge the old rules governing what is physically and socially possible. This diagram compares our current situation. The flat line is human cognitive adaptation, how fast we can adjust. The sharply accelerating exponential curve is our scientific and technological progress. When that progress moves this fast, the gap creates a state of perpetual shock. The risk in this gap is that we lose the ability to tell the difference between a verified signal and speculative noise. Navigating this acceleration requires a bridge. We have to identify which limitations we inherited are actually obsolete so we can move into a more transparent reality. To maintain clarity, we use an evidence ladder. Before we look at theory, we start with Tier 1, documented, undeniable facts. This is the scale of a new energy horizon. In 2022, the Department of Energy achieved fusion ignition in a laboratory setting, proving that the physical path to a different kind of energy future is real. In medicine, the acceleration is equally visible. The FDA has already approved CRISPR gene therapies for conditions like sickle cell disease, moving genetic editing from theoretical research into active clinical use. Even topics once dismissed as fringe are entering formal study. NASA now recognizes unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAPs, as a legitimate scientific and data quality challenge. The Director of National Intelligence and the Department of Defense have delivered unclassified reports to Congress, acknowledging hundreds of unresolved UAP incidents that require formal, rigorous investigation. These Tier 1 milestones represent a massive shift in what we know to be true. They indicate that the old boundaries, the ones based on limited energy, fixed biology, and total institutional secrecy, are being redesigned. When the physical reality changes, our systems for tracking value and trust have to follow. Tier 2 is where we map how these breakthroughs force an upgrade to our social architecture. Over 90% of the world's central banks are now actively exploring digital currencies and programmable trust mechanisms to handle the speed of modern exchange. Scientific research is also moving away from closed, profit-bottlenecked silos toward open research networks that allow for faster, transparent verification. We are watching the baseline structure of society migrate toward decentralized, verifiable systems that are built to handle high-speed information. Tier 3 asks what this means for us. If our tools and systems are undergoing this level of change, how must our own identity evolve to match it? We are beginning to consider whether humanity is outgrowing its planetary isolation and is actually part of a much larger, interconnected system of intelligence. Exploring this possibility doesn't require a leap of faith. It requires an ethical curiosity that is willing to look at new data without dismissing it prematurely. Some are even viewing reality as a participatory system, one where human consciousness isn't just an observer, but an active participant in how events unfold. The ultimate frontier of this shift isn't just in a lab or in deep space. It is the realization that we are conscious, reality-shaping participants in a living system. To thrive in this environment, we need to master a new set of skills. We call this co-creation mastery. This process involves the disciplined regulation of our internal state. By aligning our attention, emotion, and belief, we change how we perceive the world and how we choose to act within it. In a world moving this fast, internal stability is a necessity. If we can regulate our nervous systems and approach complex problems with compassion rather than fear, we can stop reacting to the old game and start actively participating in the new one. This changes our role. We are becoming active, creative stewards of the systems we share, moving with more agency than the old model ever allowed. The bridge is open. It is time to leave the old map behind, look at the evidence, and start practicing the skills we need to build the world that is arriving.